The number one question I get asked more than anything else is, Jake, how do I become a confident lacrosse player? And it's a good question because in my eyes, confidence is the number one skill you must develop as a lacrosse player. It's more important than learning how to dodge and shoot and throw crazy skip passes. If you're not confident, it doesn't matter how good you are, how much you practice or lift weights, you will not become the lacrosse player that you really want to be. And trust me, I've talked to hundreds of top high school and college recruits. I interned for the PLL. I've been around the absolute best of the best. The one thing that separates these players more than anything out there is their confidence. So today, I want to give you a step-by-step blueprint for how to become a more confident lacrosse player. And the good news is, to me, it's a skill that you can learn just like anything else. So grab a pen and paper, take some notes. I'm Jake with Lax Weekly, and let's do this thing. So the first thing you need to do is stop the nervousness spiral. Picture yourself getting nervous before a game. At first, you're a little nervous. You might feel your heart beating a little more, but all of a sudden, you're nervous about getting nervous. And you're stressed out because you're so nervous. And now you're way more nervous than you were, and you don't even know what you're nervous about. So our goal is to cut off this downward spiral. So next time you get nervous before a lacrosse game, embrace it. Now it sounds weird, but when you're nervous, it's actually a very positive thing. Your body is telling you that you really care about lacrosse, which you do. If you didn't care, if you didn't get nervous, that would be really, really weird. If you practice something multiple times a week and dedicate yourself to getting better at it, you clearly care about it. So why would you expect your brain not to tell you that it really cares about doing well? One of the most eye-opening things I've seen since talking to so many high-level lacrosse players is that they all get nervous, but instead of being afraid of being nervous, they embrace it, and they actually use it to get even more focused during the game. The next thing you need to do is have an autopilot skill. This is a skill that you master so well that no matter what, you can always go back to this one thing. So for example, one of my favorite lacrosse players of all time is Michael Sowers. His autopilot skill is that no matter what's going on, he can always go to X, do a split dodge, and try to turn the corner and score. It doesn't matter if his outside shot is awful. It doesn't matter if he can't pass and catch. He knows that he can go to this one move every single time. A really big mistake I see lacrosse players make is trying to get good at so many different things. Lacrosse is a complex game, and you can literally practice something different every day for a year. But I'd encourage you to do the exact opposite. Master one skill before moving on to learn other skills. If you're big, master the inside roll. If you're a good outside shooter, become an elite outside shooter. Turn that intensity knob up to 10 and focus like a madman. And after you finish this video, write down exactly what that skill is going to be for you and go get to work. Now, the third thing you need to do is start using a practice journal. So I'm guessing when you go to practice, you probably start by warming up and hitting the wall, maybe take a few shots, maybe do some stick tricks and throw around. But 2 days later, if I asked you what you did, you wouldn't even remember. And when it comes to game time, you forget all that work you put in. It all just feels like a blur. With a practice journal, you document exactly what you practiced and keep a running log. Then when it comes to game time, you open up that journal, read through the pages of the practice logs, and all of a sudden your confidence level goes way up because you remember all that work that you put in. The other thing this journal does is force you to stay accountable for practicing with intent. If you just go shoot around for an hour with no plan, you're not going to get a lot better. But when you have a plan to focus on specific things, that's when you're going to see your level of lacrosse go up and your confidence skyrocket. Now this leads me to my next point, which is that you need to learn from your mistakes. So the best way to prep for an SAT test is by taking a practice test, then going through that test and figuring out what problems you got wrong. Then you find patterns of what you got wrong and focus on getting better at them. The same mindset can be applied to lacrosse. Every time you play in practice or a game, you want to reflect and figure out where you did well, where you fell short, and what you need to work on to get better. For example, maybe you only scored 1 goal last game, but also you only got 2 shots. Well, now you know I need to create more opportunities to shoot, either by becoming a better cutter off ball or becoming a better dodger. If you can get really good at learning from your mistakes, you are going to become unstoppable. So let's shift gears back to the mental side of the game. Just like embracing nervousness, the mindset shift you need to have is that you don't own your lacrosse career. Now, what does this mean? Your lacrosse career is a gift. You could tear your ACL or break your arm and your lacrosse career could be over. You could get sick and not be able to play. There's no guarantee of you playing lacrosse tomorrow. Now, I'm not trying to make you sad, but it changes your perspective. We're all renting our lacrosse career. It's been given to us, and at any moment, it could be taken away. That doesn't mean to be scared of it getting taken away. It means you literally should be so happy that you get to play it. It's truly a gift to play the sport, and so you might as well be grateful for the time you spend playing it. If you start to develop this shift in perspective, you will become a much more confident and better player, and you'll actually just be happier, which is kind of the point of all this. So let me know down in the comments below, what questions do you have, and what video should I make next? I'm Jake with Lax Weekly. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.